is good? It's your boy Ty back here with another video, and in this video today, guys, we're gonna be talking about the level up cards in NBA 2K24 MyTEAM that are free via the agendas. Now, first observation I make, Kyle Korver is the lock-in, or basically the ultimate reward. So you gotta grind all of these agendas to get Kyle Korver. It's not like, you can just grind out one specific agenda for Kyle Korver. You gotta get all of these cards for Kyle Korver. Now, I wanna tell you guys right now, limit your expectations on Kyle Korver. I do not think the card is that great. Now, what do you gotta get done? You gotta get 50 blocks for Desagana Diop. You gotta score 300 points in the paint with small forwards. Okay. Because initially when I saw this, I saw make 100 3-pointers with shooting guards over multiple games, and then scored 300 points with small forwards. And I was like, okay, you can combo up the shooting guard and small forward stuff. But you can't, because you need 100 threes with shooting guards and 300 points in the paint with small forwards over multiplayer games. So, I mean, and then the last one, 200 rebounds with power forwards over multiplayer games. So what would I recommend? I think you need to focus, if you want Kyle Korver, if that's your main goal in this grind, you need to focus on getting Jermaine O'Neal and Alex English first in multiplayer. Because those are the ones you got to get done in multiplayer. What I would do is I would, again, run your shooting guard, small forward. Both of them have small forward eligibility. So you can run like Kobe Bryant and LeBron James. That's fine. But I would try to, with this, run all players with power forward eligibility. So again, I would go into unlimited. That's probably what I would recommend. And I would run all players with power forward eligibility. So I wouldn't even run Webby. I'd run Joel Embiid. I'd run Chet. Morrison is fine. I'd probably go with Braun. Just anybody with power forward eligibility. So most of the rebounds you get are going to be with power forwards. But at the same time, I'm going to run 2 at minimum small forwards in my team, and maybe even more. Like if there's a point guard out here that also does have small forward eligibility, I don't know who that would be, but I would definitely recommend running them as well. Any extra, points in the paint you can get with small forwards is definitely a bonus, a plus. But that's the one thing I would try to recommend. If you do want to go into unlimited, you could also do it in like salary cap, stuff like that. But I think these are going to be the ones that take the longest. The one for Jermaine O'Neal, which is 200 rebounds with power forwards over multiplayer games, as well as Alex English points in the paint. Now, these points in the paint is going to get crazy. Like, just thinking unlimited, you basically score, 60, 70 points in a game. And that's not even just points in the paint. So then you gotta go from there and do even more. And it's just gonna be a long type of grind. I do feel like the 50 blocks for Desagana Diop is gonna happen pretty naturally. And then if you have any left over, you can, knock them out as you do grind threes with shooting guards over multiple games. So I would try to do these two for Desagana as well as CJ McCollum in triple threat on offline, get blocks. On the other end, knock down threes. What is the type of lineup I would go with for that? Well, it says shooting guards. I mean, you could use whoever you really want for this. I mean, I could use even James Harden. I think he would be really solid. But then you need centers that can get blocks. So I would use big gold cards. So gold cards like Wemby, and then another gold card, like, it doesn't matter. Anybody that, can get you a block or two, maybe like Rudy Gobert. And then you go in here, you knock down threes with James Harden, and then get blocks on the other end. So that's kind of my recommendation for grinding out the level up, is combine Desagana Diop and CJ McCollum's challenges, because those are just over multiple games. And then the multiplayer games, I would combine Alex English with Jermaine O'Neal. Now, if you don't want to go into unlimited, you could also go into like triple threat online. Now, if you go into triple threat online, it's the same type of thing. You're going to want a guy that you can score points in the paint with as a shooting guard. So maybe like, or shooting that has small forward eligibility. So maybe like a Kobe Bryant. But then I also want guys that can get rebounds at the power forward position. So you need small forward points in the paint and then power forward rebounds. So maybe you just want to run 3 power forwards and at least a couple guys that you can score in the paint with. So maybe you go like Adam Morrison, maybe you go like LeBron James because he has power forward eligibility. And then maybe you find another guy that you could do multiple things with. Maybe you go like an AK-47. Because then every guy you score in the paint with is going to go for that. And then every rebound you're gonna get is going to tally for that power forward rebounds as well. So that's kind of where I'd kind of tend to lean for that is, you know, when you are combining the rebounds with power forwards and the 300 points in the paint with small forward, try to combo that up, because even, you know, if you go into triple threat online and let's say you win every game and you score 15 points in the paint in every game, it's still going to take you 20 games to get through. And so that's kind of the one thing I would kind of recommend you guys to think about is it's still going to take you a lot of time to get all these done. So in total, I think you're looking at 4 to 5 hours to grind all these out. Now, if I'm you guys, I'm thinking, what do I want first? I think CJ McCollum is probably the best overall card today. So if I'm you guys, I'm going into triple threat offline first, and I'm knocking down 100 threes with shooting guards and getting 50 blocks. Now again, how does that look at? I'll show you guys exactly, you know, how that looks in a game. Again, you could go with Devin Booker. It really doesn't matter. I would just run 2 gold centers that you can get occasional blocks with. So here's how that game's gonna look. You plug in a couple of golds, plug in Devin Booker. I try to get Wemby in there. But again, you're just trying to get through games as quickly as possible. 100 threes. You're gonna get to what, 7 threes a game. You're probably looking at what, 13 games to get this challenge done. So 13 games, you should be able to get, I don't know, 3 to 4 blocks a game as well to knock out the blocks with threes. Now, how long is 13 triple threat offline games gonna take you? That's a question people are gonna ask. Well, it really depends on kind of how good you are at the game. I think 13 games should take you no longer than an hour to do. So you should be able to get CJ McCollum in an hour. The long part of this grind is going to come in the multiplayer stuff, in which, you know, obviously you got to get points in the paint and you got to get rebounds. That's going to be the long grind. For this, again, if you can get blocks, turn it into 3 on the other end, this really should not take you super long to get Desagana Diop as well as CJ McCollum. And why is that my main focus? Because I actually like CJ McCollum even more than Kyle Korver. Now, am I going to get Kyle Korver? Possibly. Like, it's probably going to happen at the end of the day, but that's not my main goal, right? My main goal is getting CJ McCollum, seeing what he is going to get into, and then maybe going into other game modes and going from there. Now, again, why Rudy Gobert? Why Wemby? I feel like they can get me some blocks. And again, you can use whatever shooting guard you guys want. Obviously, you're seeing me struggle with Devin Booker right now. Whatever shooting guard you shoot best with, that's who I'd recommend taking into triple threat offline. Now, another thing, if you're on an easy difficulty of triple threat offline, you should be able to get through it quicker. I think I'm on a relatively tougher difficulty. It might be on, like, I don't know, all-star, whereas like I think you start on semi-pro. And that's another thing that obviously is gonna matter when you look at how long this overall grind does take you guys. But in general, I don't hate the grind. Do I like Kyle Korver? No, I don't think Kyle Korver is great. I actually think for what he is, there's just way better shooting guards. Obviously, shooting the ball, he's going to be the best at that. But, you know, defensively, I don't think he's great. And I just think even compared to T-Mac, the card's not good. But for the grind, he's about what he should be. A 4-hour grind, you get a lot of cards with it. I can't hate on Kyle Korver for what the grind looks like. Now, again, you guys might hate the grind, think it's too long. And if that's you guys, okay, continue playing the mode you have fun with. If you have fun playing Unlimited, keep playing that. If you have fun playing, you know, triple threat, keep playing that. And maybe these challenges happen naturally, especially the blocks, especially, you know, scoring with small forwards in the paint, especially even the power forward rebounds. A lot of this stuff is just going to come while you do play the game. And so that even if you don't want to specifically grind the challenges, just play the game and see where you're at in a few days. If you play the game, see where you're at, and you're like, dang, I'm 1 player away from Kyle Korver, and then at that stage, you decide you want to grind out for Korver, that's perfectly fine as well. You guys can see, just got through my first game, 7 threes. I think I only got 1 block, but it took me 3 minutes to do so. Again, super easy, super quick. You are going to get rewarded with the wheel spin, with MT. If you have prize bowls, use them as you're grinding these challenges as well. And this is just something that I like. I'm a big fan of these free agendas. I just wish the reward was not Kyle Korver. I know it's crazy to say, but that's just kind of my one wish. Set your plans out now. It's available for 1 week. So don't get, you know, 5 days from now and be like, shoot, I'm just a couple threes away and I'm gone for the weekend. What am I going to do? Set your sights out for what you want to get done. If you just want to get CJ McCollum done and go from there, that's fine. If you want to get whoever and go from there, that's fine. Remember, whoever you get, you're going to have to EVO as well. As I'm recording this right now, I do not think the EVO requirements are out. But just know, just realize, after you get these cards, you're going to go ahead and have to EVO them to get them to their best as well. So although it's only like a 4-hour grind to get the cards, who knows what the EVOs are like as well. Like for CJ McCollum's EVO, you might have to knock down 100 more threes, and it could get a lot longer with that. So just keep that in the back of your minds as you are grinding through this. I'll upload a lot of these gameplays, see what the cards get into, but just know it's not going to be a super quick grind. That's going to wrap it up for our video today, guys. Drop a like on it, subscribe if you're new, and as always, man, I love you guys. Have a blessed day.